Wow, that trailer was intense, and I think I can say on behalf of everyone that watched it, thank you DICE. This is the game we've been waiting for, and they certainly delivered when it came to the trailer. From now until we get to actually play the game, I'm probably going to be rewatching that trailer on repeat because it simply is just that good. Credit where credit is due, they smashed this one out the park, and I thought I'd start the video by just saying congratulations. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at some of the Battlefield 2042 details. We'll be looking at what we're actually getting in the game, what we know so far, what maps do we know about, and what's the deal with these specialists. We don't have any gameplay yet, and apart from what you saw in the trailer, DICE have only provided us with some mouth-watering screenshots. This is what you'll be seeing in the background of today's video, and I'm obviously thinking about getting some of these framed and up on the wall. They really are that good. DICE have announced that we will be seeing 3 distinct standout multiplayer experiences with Battlefield 2042. The first is called All Out Warfare, and this will bring the fan favourite modes Conquest and Breakthrough to the table on the largest maps ever with up to 128 players. Dynamic weather, dangerous environmental hazards, and spectacular world events. Wow, this is really going to be quite something. The second experience is called Hazard Zone. This is an all-new high-stakes squad-based game type for the Battlefield franchise. They say it is distinctly DICE, but very different from All Out Warfare's Conquest or Breakthrough. Could this be a competitive mode? They've 100% confirmed it's not a battle royale, but what could it be? Maybe a competitive sort of thing? Could it be something linking back to a previous game where we've really enjoyed maybe Gunmaster or Chain Link or potentially Frontlines or Rush? What could it be? I'm really not too sure, but they did say it's going to be squad focused. The third experience is yet to be announced. However, DICE state this one is a love letter to Battlefield fans that long-time players will feel right at home with. More information on that will be available on July 22nd, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Let's move on to the maps that we'll be seeing in Battlefield 2042, and we don't know about all of them. Maybe there'll be more, obviously, with this having a season pass sort of thing and more content coming along the way. There will be more than what I'm just saying here, but these are the ones we know about, and they are insane. They're blowing every other Battlefield game out of the water when it comes to scale. Battlefield 2042 is definitely taking things to the next level. Let's take a look at the maps then. We've got some screenshots in the background, starting out with Kaleidoscope. This is set in Sogdo, South Korea. Forces here will clash to control a quantum-powered disinformation hub after an attack threatens the global network. This map is huge, both horizontally and vertically. Skyscraper combat will be insane. As you saw from the trailer, it looks pretty crazy. The next map I'm looking at is Manifest. This one is set in Brani Island, Singapore. Players will see a strategic flashpoint emerge as global trade chokes this location, which is vital for the American supply lines. This immediately reminds me of Nashar Canals, and I can see it being a really fun map. Orbital is the next one, set in French Guiana. This battle is over a rocket launch site as a controversial space launch becomes a race against time. We saw how awesome that rocket looked in the trailer, and I can't wait to see it happen in game. It'll be one of those moments like the Shanghai Tower in BF4 where people are queuing up to watch it happen. Maybe it'll be something good for the gameplay, I'm not too sure, but visually it's going to be something special. Discarded is next, set in Alang in India. Here you will see shipbreakers facing tidal extremes as factions fight to secure rogue nuclear assets. In the trailer we saw a bunch of tanks smashing down the ramp to get onto the container ship. Is it a tank-focused map, perhaps? The next map I'm looking at is Renewal, set in the Eastern Desert in Egypt. Players will fight for a groundbreaking agricultural technology center in the Egyptian desert. Take a look at that screenshot. Does it look like Caspian Border to you? It does to me. We have a huge wall dividing the map, one side benefiting from lush green landscape and the other has just an arid desert environment. That could be very, very interesting. Next up is a map called Hourglass, set in Doha, Qatar. Shifting sands and a lost shipping convoy tear a city centre apart. Just an awesome map visually, and a little bit cyberpunk if you ask me. We saw a bit in the trailer where the helicopters were weaving through the buildings and they crashed into each other in spectacular fashion. with those lights in the background, I'm thinking we're going to have some fairly incredible moments on Hourglass. And finally, the last map we know about is called Breakaway, set in Queen Maud Land, Antarctica. Struggle over oil and gas that pushes soldiers to the brink. Again, something we saw in the trailer with that Damavan Peak style base jump. Quite a spectacular map, if you ask me. Let's spend a few minutes looking at the specialists next, and what do we know about them? DICE have given us some information on 4 of them, however they say the game will launch with 10 and then more will come in the future. It seems we have the traditional classes that you're used to, so Assault Engineer, Support and Recon, so not much is changing there, which is a good thing if you ask me, but then you have some kind of classes within classes, the specialists. They add a lot of depth in my opinion and make things quite interesting. The first of the 4 that we'll be looking at is called Wycus Casper Van Dale. Apologies for getting these names wrong, you know what I'm like with names. And they're a South African recon. Being in the recon class, they benefit from a few things. Each class will benefit from a speciality and then a trait, and I'll go through those as well. So for Casper, we have got the OVP recon drone and then a movement sensor. The second specialist is called Webster Mackay from Canada, and in the assault class, Webster gets a grappling hook and the trait Nimble. I'm fairly sure that grappling hook will come in useful on some of these maps. If you notice, there are a lot of skyscrapers. Next up is Maria Falk from Germany. She is in the support class and gets an S21 Surette pistol and has the combat surgeon trait. This sounds to me like she's a little bit of a medic in a way. Maybe she could be somebody that is reviving people with that combat surgeon trait. We'll have to wait and see. And then finally we have a guy called Boris. He is from Russia. He's in the engineer class, and Boris gets an SG-36 sentry gun and the trait sentry operator. That is certainly something a little bit different, but as I said, there are going to be more specialists. Maybe you're wanting something more traditional with the engineer class, you know, RPG repair tool. Let's see what they're bringing with the other specialists. Certainly having a sentry gun and that trait sentry operator could be very interesting, but we will see. Some big news for you as well. In Battlefield 2042, you'll actually be able to customize your weapons in real time, adjusting to whatever situation you find yourself in. Suddenly find yourself in close quarters, but you don't want that ACOG scope? Well, fine, switch it out on the move. You can do this in games like Battlegrounds and Tarkov. Now it's actually in Battlefield. Vehicles are also seeing a little change, which is for the better in my opinion. They're more team-focused, with every seat having a vital role to play, from anti-air seats to spotter seats to gunner-type seats. The more players you have working together in that vehicle, the stronger and more versatile you will become. Let me know what you think of this down in the comments below. I'm so hyped to play this game. I just cannot wait to get my hands on it. Everything I've seen so far is fantastic. Obviously you need that hands-on experience before you can make your mind up, but when it comes to a trailer and everything surrounding the game so far, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm smiling ear to ear and I can't wait to play more. Leave your comments down below, let me know what you think. I'll catch you in the next video.